Hello everybody, it's me, SpongeNet, and welcome to my Windows 7 setup, where today we're going to be playing Neverwinter Nights. This is a game made by BioWare and Atari back in 2002 for PC, and we're going to be doing a playthrough of it. So with the main story, the game has a bunch of like expansions and modules, and I have two of the expansions because I have the deluxe edition and quite a few of the modules, which I think also came with the deluxe edition. I should know this game was re-released on like Switch, Xbox One, and PS4 as Neverwinter Nights Enhanced. But this is the like original PC version, so yeah. Now, before I begin, I should note the cut screen that is meant to play, or the cinematic that's meant to play at the start, it doesn't seem to work in this. At least it doesn't seem to work with my setup anyway. So unfortunately, you'll hear the like audio from it, but you won't be able to actually see anything. And sometimes it crashes, but we'll see how we do. Anyway, let's get started with the prologue. We're gonna create a new character. Okay, let it load. So we can pick our gender. We can be male or female. We're going to be a male. A male. And then we can pick our race. We can be a human, an elf, a dwarf, a halfling, a gnome, which is basically just a halfling, but I guess shorter, a half elf, a half orc, or a sub race. Where's regular orc? They have half orc. Anyway, we're going to be a gnome because I already have a good idea of what character I want to be. And next we get to pick our portrait, which we get to pick from all these options. What should I pick from? I kind of like this guy. We'll go with that, I guess. And we can pick our class. Now this game is based off of like D&D, more specifically E3 D&D, I believe. So the classes are kind of based off that. But there's also some like special classes because we have some of the expansions. But for this playthrough, we're going to be a druid, because I want to be a druid. When I originally played this game in my own, I played a fighter, so I want to be an actual character who can use magic. And I guess for our alignment, we'll just go for true neutral. And for our abilities, no, this is not our abilities, this is our attributes. Strongly recommend you press the recommend button. Now I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to even it out. Put everything to 10. Can I lower these? No, you can't. That'd be kind of funny. Alright, I guess we'll even them out to 11 then, and we'll see how many points we have left. So we have 12 left. I guess we'll just put 1 in everything. And see what that leaves us with. That leaves us with 6 points. And I guess I'll put another 1 in everything. So we're going to be like evened out. Oh, we can't put it into strength again. Okay, I guess I'll go for extra in then. Alright. And we can pick a package. So we could be a default druid, an interloper, the grey druid, a death druid, a hawkmaster, or a shifter. I can't be a shifter so we can shapeshift. And we can also customize our character, who looks grey. Can I like rotate them? I guess not. So we can pick our head. There's a lot of hat options. I kind of like this hair honestly, so we'll go for that. We can pick a tattoo. I guess we'll do this one. We can change our body type. We could be thick. We could be tiny. Well, oh, okay, that's the only options really. We change our clothing. I like this already. We can change our skin color. I guess we'll go for this. We can change our hair color. We could have normal hair. We could have like dark hair, but you know what? We're gonna have green hair because we're a druid clearly. Could change our tattoo colors, but you can't really see it with this, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Get on them! Attack, I say!
We get to choose a voice.
To your weapons, and don't let up! Attack! By my direction, attack! Attack!
How's Scholar sound?
Will attack!
I kind of like the Scholar. I guess we'll go for that. And we get to pick our first and last name. We're going to be Spongy. And our last name will be the Sponge, I guess. The Spongy. Spongy the Sponge. And we can also pick our age. Wait, can we be like over 100? Hang on. Can we be like 1,000? Oh my god, we're gonna be ancient. Be like 2,000 years. We're just ancient. Okie dokie. And we'll play. Let's see if this works.
The frozen north, the name given to the stark and unforgiving frontier that lies beyond the high moor of Faerun, a bleak wilderness where barbarian clans and tribes of giants roam the land, and fierce dragons rule the skies. But amidst the frozen savagery stands a bastion of civilization, the city of Neverwinter, jewel of the north. Behind the city's high walls, those both hardy and brave carve out an existence from this bleak land under the guidance and protection of the legendary hero, Lord Nasher Alagonda. Yet there are some things that all the courage in the world cannot stand against. A virulent plague swept the city, a terrible affliction that began in the beggar's nest. Soon, all of Neverwinter would feel the touch of the wailing death. The disease could not be cured. Panic ensued. The streets erupted into violence. The jewel of the north was brought to its knees. To save Neverwinter, Lady Aribeth de Tilmaran, Paladin of Tyr, and Lord Nasher's right hand, put forth the call for a champion. A rush of would-be heroes answered her call, some drawn by promises of grandeur and glory, others by the lure of gold. Those with the greatest potential were initiated into the academy to train and study under the greatest minds of Neverwinter, all in the hopes a champion might emerge to save the city from the wailing death and whatever sinister force might be behind it.
Okay, and that's the main story. Now, before I continue, I need to do a quick spin recording. Okay, now we can actually get started with playing the game. So let's head out and get on to our
Finally,
adventure.
you're up. I was afraid you were going to sleep all day. I guess the instructors work you pretty hard here at the academy.
Continue.
My name's Pavel. I'm one of the new recruits. I just arrived here at the academy this morning.
You're Spongy the Sponge, aren't you? Yes, I am Spongy the Sponge. Is it true what they say about you, that Lady Arabeth herself or the Academy to send you an invitation to come here for training? I guess so. I never heard anyone being invited to train at the Academy before. Usually people are begging to get in. It must be a great honor for you. It's both an honor and a privilege for me to serve in Neverwinter tonight. Although I'm not going to be reading every options, I'm just going to click the ones I think is the best ones. If there are choices that are worth mentioning, I will bring them up. You're pretty modest for someone who's got such high expectations on him. It wasn't quite so easy for me to get into the academy. My brother Bim and I were working on one of the nearby farms outside the city when we heard Lady Arabeth had put out a call for heroes to come to the aid of Neverwinter. We knew the city was suffering, but we didn't realize how bad things were until we got here. We arrived just before they sealed the gates and quarantined the city. Thank the gods I got accepted in the academy. I wouldn't want to be out there in the streets with the plague, not with the city guard barely keep order anymore. I don't actually know that much about the plague. When death is a plague worse than any recorded in the entire city of Neverwinter. The whole city has been quarantined. Nobody is allowed in or out. The Neverwinter militia do their best to enforce the quarantine, but people do not like being trapped inside the walls of a plague-infested city. Every day, more bodies piled up on the streets, and the civilians move one step closer to panic and open rebellion. Can't say I blame them. It's only been a few months, and already the death number is in the thousands. It's probably a big city. Can't the clerics and priests do anything to help? Most people have given up any hope of finding a cure for the waning death. Potions and medical herbs do nothing, and even the prayers of the city's most powerful clergy have been ineffective. I guess that's why Lady Arabeth ordered the academy to open its door to new recruits. The city needs to get a hero, someone who can save us all from the waning death. Well, what are we going to do exactly? Cure them all? How are we going to do that? The word on the street is that Arabeth is actually working on a cure right here in the academy, but that's just a rumour. Probably not even true. Do you know anything more about these rumours of a cure? I only know what people are saying on the street. Some claim that Elizabeth has a cure and she's going to start passing it out soon. Others claim she's keeping the cure for herself. But like I said, it's just rumors. Maybe some of the people who've been here at the academy longer than I have know more about the cure, if there even is one. Is there anything else you can tell me? You can speak to my brother Brim over by the door if you want some tips on adventuring. Otherwise, you'll go see Oglag in the next room. He's the one in charge of equipping all of us recruits for our training. Other than that, I don't know what more to tell you. I'm just a new recruit here. You're the one who's almost finished his training. Okay, goodbye. Yes, I suppose you need to get on with your training. You should probably go speak to Oglar in the next room and get your equipment so you can take the final test and finish your training. Okay. If you want any tips on instruction adventuring, then don't forget to say hi to my brother Bram on your way out. If you actually go talk to him, he'll basically tell you how to play the game. And honestly, it's been a while since I've properly played the game, so I do need a refresher here.
I saw you talking to my brother Pavel. My name is Bim. If you want, I can give you a short tutorial on adventuring.
And it also gives you guys an idea of what I'm doing. Because there'll be things that he'll explain that will help you guys understand what I do and why I do it, if that makes any sense. Basically, you know, it's a tutorial, but, you know, you can skip it if you really want to, though, I believe. But I'm going to go through it just for giggles. Okay, let's get started. Just to let you know, you can break out of a conversation at any time by pressing the escape key on your keyboard, or by walking away from the character you're speaking to. Now let's begin the tutorial. Whenever you left-click your mouse on a character or object in the game, your character performs the default action. Default left-clicks include speaking to a person, attacking a monster, or opening doors and chests. Go on. Let's talk a bit about the camera controls and viewpoints. There are 3 different camera styles you can use when playing Neverwinter Nights. I'm setting you to top-down camera mode to start the tutorial. This is the default setting of the game. I like the camera how it is. The way I have the camera right now is if you hold down the mouse middle click, I can like move the camera around. You can also move the camera around by moving the mouse to the edge of the screen. But I don't really do that. I just do this because it's more my way to do it because it works. Okay, if you're happy with this camera mode, then we'll just continue with the tutorial. Neverwinter has several difficulty settings you can choose. I'll explain the main difference between the various settings if you're interested. Okay. In the multiplayer game, the DM can adjust and control different settings. In single player games, there are 3 different settings you can choose from in the options menu: easy, normal, and hardcore. There is one more setting, and that's difficult, and I'll explain that when after he explains these, I guess. In the easy setting, enemies' damage against you is limited to 50% of the normal total, and all your hits deal a minimum of 50% normal damage to enemies. Also, your spells won't hurt your own party members. One thing I should actually notice is this game does have multiplayer, and the fact that your spells won't hurt other people is why he mentions this, because you can't accidentally like hurt other people, because you know it's multiplayer, you're meant to work together. I don't think there's PvP, I think it's just cooperative. There's also followers, and this also applies to them. Your spells won't accidentally hit them on the easier settings, which is nice. In the normal mode, the damage setting rolls are calculated normally, although enemies cannot score critical strikes on you. Your spells still won't hurt your party members. When I first played this game, I actually beat it on normal mode. It's not too difficult. I'm gonna try and play through it again on normal mode, but if it gets too hard, we can always switch to easy. You know, it's there for that reason. The hardcore setting makes players vulnerable to critical hits and gives enemies attacks of opportunity if you're using a range, weapon, or potions in melee combat. Your spells will now injure your own party members if they're caught in the area of effect. So yeah, in hardcore mode, you actually can friendly fire and enemies can critically hit you. And the one difficulty he's not explaining is difficult mode. And in difficult mode, it's basically hardcore, but enemies do double damage. So it's very difficult. Also, one thing I should note, despite it saying it's hardcore, you can still respawn in the game, although we won't be respawning because of weird reasons. Let's just continue. The game has been balanced for the normal difficulty setting. Using the other settings may result in the gameplay that is too easy or too difficult. That seems simple enough. That's it for the difficulty setting. Let's move on to the next part of the tutorial. Okay, go ahead. You can right click on any object or character in the game, including yourself. This is very important to remember, as right clicking will bring up the menu that lets you access most of your abilities and actions. What he means is we can like go into our like spells and such, and this is how we like use them. Try right clicking me and bring up the menu, then select the attack icon on the right of the menu to punch me. The attack icon is at the 3 o'clock position on the menu. Alright. So we're gonna give him a good old punch in the face.
I want to talk to you again.
My weapon is ineffective. You cannot damage your target with your current weapon equipped. There are characters like that throughout the game where you just can't hurt them. There are also a lot of characters who are friendly that you can just kill if you really want to.
Okay. Seems like you got the radial menu figured out. Remember, right-click on objects to bring up the radial menu. You can even right-click on yourself to access skills, feats, and other special abilities.
Which is what I just did a minute ago. Okay, let's continue. Take a look at your quick bar at the bottom of the screen. The quick bar is the most important feature in the game. You should learn how to use your quick bar. And what he means is the bar down here, you guys have probably noticed. This is kind of like WoW, where you can use spells using the keyboard rather than having to like go into a spell book. You can also click them if you really want to, which he will also explain. But yeah, let's continue, I guess, and let him explain it. The quick bar lets you use most of your important skills, feats, abilities, and items. To use a ability on the quick bar, just hit the corresponding function key on your keyboard, or click it on the quick bar slot with your mouse. Now notice he says function keys. He doesn't mean the number keys, he means the function keys, which is like F1 through F12, because for some reason that's how they decided to do it. You actually have to use your function keys to use them rather than the number keys. I think you can rebind it if you want to. I haven't because I don't think it really matters. You can just click it anyway. But it is interesting to know that yeah, when it says F like 8, you generally have to press F8 if you want to use that, or click there if you want to, I guess, do that. Anyway, let's continue. You can pull up a second quick bar by holding down Shift on your keyboard. Hold Shift and press the corresponding function key to access more abilities, basically. So yeah, we do have another page. You can pull up a third quick bar by holding down Control on your keyboard. Hold Control and press the corresponding function key to access that one as well. So yeah, we do have a one for Control. I think there's also one for Control and Shift, right? No, the Shift seems to take priority if I press both of them down. Despite me being able to. I guess the game didn't think about that. You can change abilities in the quick bar by right-clicking on the respective box and assign a new ability to the function by using the menu system. Remember, use your quick bar. Now we'll move on to your character sheet, if you're ready. I'm ready. An important part of the game is your character sheet, which you can access by pressing C on your keyboard or clicking with your mouse on your character sheet below your icon. When he says that, he means like over here. Like if you click here, it will bring up your character sheet. You can also press C, which will also close it. So yeah. The character sheet displays your ability scores in the windows on screen. It also shows other important statistics of your character, such as armor class and hit points. So I'm going to close it now. Any special effects your character, such as spell or items, affect your stats or give you special immunities or abilities can be seen scrolling down the bottom of your character sheet. Your special effects are also represented by icons that appear on the top of the screen to the left of your character portrait. Mousing over these icons will bring up the text description on what effects they represent. In the top of the character sheet are several tabs. Clicking these tabs will bring up the sheets displaying your skills, feats, and spells, which is kind of what I did a minute ago where I was like clicking these. So it shows you everything we have, and if you click it, it will explain it. But anyway, let's continue. Next part is the pause and play function, if you're ready. I'm ready. In the single player game, pause and play is enabled by default. In a multiplayer game, it's up to the DM whether pause and play will be available to the players. When pause and play is enabled, you can pause the game by pressing the space bar. When paused, you can select a spell to cast, or use a special ability or an item with the same controls during normal gameplay. These actions will show up as an action queue across the top of the screen in order you selected them. You can also clear the action queue at any time by clicking on the ground. You can also switch equipment, armor, and weapons while in pause mode. Although, like the actions, these changes won't take effect until normal gameplay resumes. To end pause mode, just press spacebar again. Now, what he means when he says all that is basically you have the ability to stop time. Like, if I press space, time is stopped. If I press 1, nothing happens. Even though I said his dialogue remains there, you can literally stop time. And once you press space again, time will resume. And this is important in a lot of fights if you want to like set certain things up. Like you want to quickly use an item and you don't have quite the time to use it. You can quickly stop time and then use it and then unpause and then you'll do it. Okay, we're almost done with the tutorial now. There's just one thing left for me to teach you. If you're ready to go on. We've covered most of the basic controls, so now it's time to focus on how you rest. Resting is a very important part of the game. Remember to rest often. Resting heals you, it lets you to prepare a spell, and it restores any feats or special abilities you may have used up. The way this game works is there isn't mana, but abilities have like charges, and to regain your charges, you have to rest. In order to rest, just left click on the button below your portrait in the upper right corner screen. Once you're done resting, come speak to me again. What he means is you can click here, but you can also just press R and that will also make you rest. And it takes a minute for you to actually rest. Well, not an actual minute, but it does take you a few seconds. And one thing I should know is you can't rest if there's too much danger around. Like if there's too many enemies nearby, you won't be able to rest. And there are also certain areas where you just can't rest whatsoever. It's kind of like the Elder Scrolls games, basically.
Well, looks like you're all rested and ready to go and complete your training. Just head on through the door and you'll find Olga waiting for you.
Okie dokie. Olga will help get you your equipment so you can complete your test here at the academy. Is there anything else you need? Anything else you need? No, I'm good. Good luck with the training, Spongy the Sponge. The instructors at the academy will be happy to give you more lessons on how to play the game, specific to your class. If you ever need a refresher course on this tutorial, just come back and talk to me again. Okie dokie. But with that, I'm going to call the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, leave a like and subscribe. There's still actually quite a bit of tutorial to go through, and I don't think we'll be finishing it until after next episode. But, you know, it's important so we can figure out what we're doing and how we do it. At 400 subscribers, though, we'll be doing another subscriber special in Minecraft Alpha. And until next time, boop!